Hi there, Chris here with another fresh tip for you all. In this video we are going to take another look at Necromunda Bases, and we're going to use a masking technique using a product called parafilm. Now the product in question is often used in the medical industry. This is parafilm right here, and you can buy it in varying thicknesses and at lengths. It does not cost that much, but this is a really fantastic product to use when masking, especially something that is kind of quick, easy, and disposable. Here I'm just quickly showing, I'm just cutting off a little segment. These rolls have little lines in them, so you can cut them off and, pretty much use them as you will. And you can see it's a semi-transparent film. It is fairly light and is not sticky on either side of it. And basically, to get it kind of adhere to a surface, you give the parafilm a bit of a stretch. And once you have it kind of roughly stretched out to where you want to contact your part, you simply apply it to the surface. And basically what ends up happening is because you stretch it and because of the elastic quality, it begins to retract a bit on itself. And so what it does is it begins to adhere to the surface. And here I'm just applying a bit of pressure just so that it gets into all the little nooks and crannies, kind of grabs onto the surface. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. Here I'm using a soft tool to basically push the recesses and get it to adhere nicely to all the little nooks and crannies. You could also use clay shapers, which are used for green stuff shaping and sculpting. You could also use the end of an eraser or something soft, basically, that you can come to a fine point and you can work into all these little areas, basically just pushing it into the corners. Because we've stretched it out, it does have this clinging quality, kind of like cling wrap you use in the kitchen for other things. Nice, sharp, brand new X-Acto blade. I highly recommend using a fresh blade for this, because basically what we're going to do is, with little pressure, we're going to apply a scoring mark over the surface of the film. Now, you don't want to apply too much pressure because, again, you don't want to cut into your model or whatever surface you're working on. This doesn't have to be just Necromunda Bases. This could also be other models, large shapes, anything you want to mask, especially if you're going to be doing some airbrushing. And that's really why we want to mask things. You can see, as easy as that, you just cut out the shape and peel the excess away, and it comes right off. It does not adhere to the surface in a really aggressive fashion, like say a tape will. You could use painter's tape in this regards, but I found with the parafilm, this is really fantastic for doing really weird organic type shapes. You can see some of the excess came off, and with your little tool, you can easily just push it back into place, and it will grab hold of where it previously was, and you can work it into all those little corners, and it will grab well enough for you to continue your work. And in fact, because you pre-stretched it, and in fact you can actually work it into other corners that it wasn't previously grabbing, kind of like how we use silly putty when we're masking. And of course we could use silly putty in the same regards, but I figured this one is a fun way because I had a whole bunch of bases to do, and I just cut off little squares and I did a whole bunch of bases, as you can see here. So now I'm ready to go and basically do an assembly line job of spraying up these bases and getting the designs happening. And I think you can guess what I'm going to be doing, designs on these shapes using this mask. But a huge thank you to all my patrons. Without your support, these videos would not be possible. If you're considering Patreon support, click the link in the description below, and there are varying tiers at which you can support at. And a huge thank you to all of you. Take care of those brushes, they'll take care of you, and I will see you guys in the next video.